There you go. Hey y'all, thank you for joining us this evening for Night Hawke, brought to you by Hawke Media, an official e-commerce meat partner with Serve. I'm your chef tonight, and I'm excited to teach you all how to make homemade potato gnocchis using potato flakes, of course. I'll tell you why in a minute. And then with a fresh homemade tomato sauce and Italian sausage. Just to give you a little background about myself, I've been in fine dining for most of my career. Went out of my own ways. Now I'm building a company with my wife, and all in all, we're just creating a brand of other things. And now I'm jumping on as Serve to be the main chef as the culinary director. Sorry. And so Night Hawke would like to bring awareness to the Black Lives Matter movement. If you would like to donate support in any way, please visit the event page for more information. Now let's get cooking. I would really like to cook with you guys. So if you guys want to join me on this video, just click that button, raise a hand, and then I will have Angel buzz you in. But then be mindful to just keep the button muted so that the voice doesn't interrupt. And we will have different camera, this angle, that angle, and the front view, just so you guys can have all the views of experiences, and I can open the oven just and see exactly every step of the way. Just feel like I'm in your kitchen with you. So if you have any more questions throughout the class, please feel free to hit unmute and ask them. And that's about it. I'm ready to get started if you are. So is anybody that want to join, now is your time. Ask away. Anyone?
Yeah, we've got Steven, we have Lexi, we have Kaden, we have Lizzie, we have another one joining here.
Okay, Steve, this works, so you tell me how to get it.
Yeah, yep, I'll tell you, I'll let you know. Everyone's on camera and everyone's ready to get cooking.
Sweet. I see you guys. Okay, cool. Okay, first and foremost, let's crank the oven to 375. I just turned on my oven, it's reaching at the temp, 370 now. But let's get it to 375 first. And then we're gonna get a pot boiling water, which I have in the back. So this is the one that we're gonna cook our potatoes in. Top down cam, perfect. And I'm gonna have this back on my main stove top. I'll be using this pot throughout to cook, but just to keep things hot and ready, I'll just have it back here so you guys can see better. There you go, that's the buzz, 375. Okay, so let me see, with my cheat sheet, good amount of salt. Okay, good. Okay, so we're gonna start the potato flake situation. So usually potato gnocchis, just like Alex, he was on the right idea, roast in the oven. However, I know you guys are busy, we don't have that much time. I'm gonna show you a quick kitchen hack, just what I like to use, because let's be honest, like I want a quick dinner, a good quick dinner myself. Okay, I'm gonna cook this on high heat. Now, Angel, switch cam, please. Now you can measure out 4 ounces of water and pour that bad boy in the pot. This should boil very quickly, but I'll slow it down so that you guys can catch up. And at any point, if I'm going too fast, just raise the hand or click on the button and tell Angel like, hey, slow down. I'm trying to catch up, so I'll know. Okay, so pinch of salt in this water. Maybe one more. And then a nice salt for the other one in the back. And the rule of thumb for, that was what would happen. It did. So the rule of thumb for why you salt the water is want your pasta to pick up all the flavor. And my rule of thumb for the seasoning is you want the water to taste like the sea. So every time you cook pasta, like it's gonna taste like it's salty, but honestly it's like good to go. Don't worry about it. The finished result is gonna be perfectly seasoned. And I only use kosher salt because I'm able to control the amount of salt that I use versus iodized or Morton salt in particular. Okay, now is this a good pace for everyone? Can I start on the next step? This water should be boiling now.
So you're good.
Yeah. Are you guys following along? Thumbs up if you guys are ready for the next step. Okay, perfect. Okay, so next grab your potato flakes. Or which camera? I like using Bob's red mill because I find it really good for all dry things. Okay, first we have 4 ounces of water boiling. I'm gonna turn that guy down. Now we're gonna grab a cup's worth of potato flakes. And then I'm gonna turn off the heat. That's off. And we're going to stir this in with our wooden spoon. So while you add that, we're going to cut 3 tablespoons of butter. And don't worry if you don't have the measuring, like you can never go wrong with butter. You can always add more. If it was up to me, I'll add the whole bar, but I want to show you guys I'm a little conservative. Okay, so 3 tablespoons of butter. And just let that guy cruise in there. We're basically melting the butter in instead of melting it in. If you guys heard of the term beurre monte, it's basically a melted sauce, but in this case, we're just making mashed potato. So that's just set right in there.
How many cups of potato flakes? A guest is asking.
1 cup, so that's 8 ounces. Is there people joining us now?
Yep, 1 cup, 8 ounces.
Perfect. So first I add half a cup of water, and then I brought that to a boil, turn off the heat, then we add 1 cup of potato flakes, and then 3 tablespoons of butter. And now I'm gonna work that in. The butter's like slowly melting, so I'm just gonna work that in. There you go. Okay, is everybody following along? We're going to now remove the pot. Clean up here. Okay, now we're going to transfer it over to this giant bowl. You guys can see that? Cool. We're going to get the potato, basically mashed potato mixture into the mixing bowl here. So everybody on that step? Get rid of that. Okay, now is the fun part. Let's grab the Parmesan cheese, the brick of Parmesan. I'm just gonna grate that in.
Chef, can we have you slow down just a tad? You still have some people on the instant potatoes. Yep.
Okay. I wish I could see everyone.
How much cheese?
For which one? Cheese?
Yeah, how much cheese should they be grating?
Oh, so just make it rain. The more the merrier.
Make it rain.
Make it rain. Okay. So that's basically act as your umami-ness and to add a salt factor. So traditional gnocchi, obviously there's egg, but we're gonna cut that out because I add butter and cheese, and I just wanted to use the minimalist amounts of ingredients for you guys, but still giving a great product. And then just 1 crack of fresh black peppercorn. Is the paste good?
Yep.
Okay, and we're going to drizzle in olive oil or extra virgin olive oil. So now, once again, I buy gluten-free baking flour, so you can use any flour. This one, let's grab a half a cup first, but we're not going to add it all in there. I'll show you. I'm just using it as a measuring spoon. And I'm just going to sprinkle it. And then I'm going to fold it in slowly. Basically, you don't want to over mix it because once you overwork it, the gluten starts to activate, and then that's when it gets gummy. I don't know if you ever had extremely gummy gnocchi, but it tastes like rubber. So then we can add more, and eventually I'll use my hands. Just I don't want to make a mess yet. How's Alex doing since he's using fresh potatoes?
He's showing us his fresh potatoes right now. I'm gonna spotlight his video so everyone can
Nice.
see.
Nice. Okay, you can use all of that if you like, but you're gonna end up with tons of dough. So maybe grab a quarter of that just to create this recipe, and then make mashed potato with steak tomorrow. Okay, awesome. I'm gonna add in, yep, perfect. And I'm gonna add in a little bit at a time, not all of it. Because we can always add, but we can't subtract. Okay, so now that I see my dough is somewhat springy, I'm gonna use my hands now. And the idea is you wanna incorporate the flour slowly, but don't overwork it. Again, the more you work it, the gummier it's gonna get.
Chef, do you mind backing up a little bit more from how much flour you added and then up to the step that you're at now?
Wait, say that one more time?
From when you added the flour,
yes.
Can you repeat the steps till you got to this point, just for those that are joining now, and how much?
Those of you that is joining now, I grabbed a half a cup of flour, and I'm not adding it all at once. I'm just gradually sprinkling it on, folding it from the outside to the middle. Exactly what I'm doing here. Side to the middle. And you can see at this point, nothing is sticking to my hand. And that's exactly what I was talking about when I was using that wooden spoon first. And then I'm just gonna keep on keeping that motion. And you can definitely feel the dough once it's ready. But right now, I still feel like mashed potato. So I just wanna work in a little more flour. So that's about all of that now. And you guys should be left with a nice, soft, pillowy dough, but not a ball of rubber, if that makes any sense. Do we all have this at the moment?
Looks like we need to slow down a bit. I'm gonna give everyone, their hands are all dirty though, but I'm gonna unmute everyone. That way you guys can unmute yourselves too when you need to ask questions, because I think that is turned off right now. So I will make sure participants are able to do that now.
Okay, let me know.
Almost done flouring my potatoes.
Is there anything else but the flour?
Is there anything else after the flour? No. So the idea is you don't want to overwork the dough. It should be like nice and like mochi texture.
Gotcha.
So like, enough when you touch, it's not falling, it's not flaking, and it's not sticking to your hands. That's like the perfect ratio amount of flour.
No salt, no butter.
Well, we add that already. Did you add that yet?
How much is salt and butter again?
Yes. So then before this step, we add 3 tablespoons of butter. We add about a pinch of salt, and then we made it rain with Parmesan.
Oh.
My dough's
Which
almost
step are you currently on? Let me wash my hand. How are we looking, Angel?
Look at my dough. It looks beautiful. So proud of myself.
Okay, that looks good.
Boom.
There you go. Wait, be careful. Don't tap it too much. It's gonna get overworked. Okay, so then now, if we're at that step, I'm just gonna cover it with plastic wrap and just let our dough rest for a second while we do other things. So today you're gonna learn a few things. You're gonna learn how to build a full dish, but then we're gonna learn time management. So we just want to do one thing that makes sense. So now I'm gonna let this guy rest somewhere where I have space over here. And then now let's get our station cleaned up so we can do the next step. I'll put my flour away, put away my wooden spoon. Putting it to go so you don't have a bunch of mess at the end. I've learned that the hard way my entire career. Okay, awesome. Okay, everybody, are we good? Nice. All right, so next we're going to, let me check my notes. We're going to cut all of our vegetables. Okay, I'm going to cut all the vegetables. So let's bring all of that over. There's mushroom, onions, and fennel. So we're just going to first just small dice everything. There's no particular way, but I'll just show you. Knife, cut the core. Get that in off. I'm probably just going to use half the onion just because we're making an amount for 2 to 3. Everybody following along?
Yep.
Oops. Just dice that. You can rough chop it. It doesn't have to be perfectly diced. Don't cut your hand, please.
Do you have any tips or secrets for those that cry from cutting onions? Is there anything we don't know that you know?
I don't. Unfortunately, I don't. It's honestly, it's usually has to do with your knife. Like it should be sharp, but there's always a bad onion in there once in a while.
Alex says, fill your mouth with water and it stops tears.
Oh, like running water? I've done that, but it didn't help me. So then I didn't want to suggest it. I definitely done that in the past, stand by running water, but then I was still in tears. So I was like, you know what, nothing works anymore. Okay, dice that, put it all in a little bowl. Now we're going to crack some garlic. Let's crack about 4 cloves. So the trick that I do with garlic is I smash it first. I mean, obviously that makes it bleed, so it gets a little gassy, but it really helps with the peeling process. And when I cut it, it's like nice and semi-flat for me to cut, and it's not like running everywhere. Is there anyone joining the room right now, Angel, or are we all good to go?
Yep, we're pretty steady right now.
Cool. Okay, we're going to discard these guys. Unless you have a garden, you can throw it in there, let it compost.
How many cloves would you
So
like?
roughly about 4. And then I'm going to cut the ends off. Cut that guy out first. And then we're just gonna mince the garlic up. So the best way you can do this, and remember, knife pointing down, then palm, snatch, so that you don't catch yourself. And then just rough chop it, we're just mincing. So the way I've learned how to cut is, I call it piano fingers. basically you're gonna tuck your fingers inwards so that the knife only has contact here and not your fingers. Okay, now we're gonna mince it until it's nice and crushed. That smells great. Same thing, let's transfer that into another bowl. Gonna quick rinse my garlic fingers. Okay, now could I move on to the next step, Adrian?
I think we still got a few people on the garlic.
Okay, no worries. So we got onions, garlic, and then we'll jump on. Let's jump on the mushroom first, since it's actually a lot easier. We can use the same cutting board, so there's no meat contact. And then same thing, this doesn't have to be perfect. We'll just rough chop it. So they all should be semi-wet. I'm actually gonna cut a little more. I don't want to have too much mushroom. Is there any questions or concerns so far?
Yeah, I actually do have a question about the mushrooms. Is there any part of the mushroom, if we have one of like the big ones, like that look like a cap, is there a part of it that we wouldn't want to eat?
Everything is edible. Maybe we'll leave out the stem just because it's a little too woody. So
Okay,
just remove the stem and then grab the giant head and then just rough chop that.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. And I'm just gonna cut about this much, which is about 1.5 cups. Again, we're making enough for 2 to 3. Unless you want to make enough for 6, it's your call. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna move on. Now down to the fennel. Cut the head off. And if everybody have tops, I don't know if all of you bought tops, but let's just save it. I'm gonna use it for garnish and I'll show you at the end just to make the presentation, you know, a bit nicer. And I'm just gonna have this in a little cup for now.
John is asking if they should be washing the mushrooms, or what are your thoughts on washing the mushrooms?
The one that's coming in the package should be good to go. If you buy them loose, yeah, give them a little wash. And then damp them with a little paper towel. And I'm gonna wash this fennel head really quickly. Fennel, I'll cut the roots off. And I'll leave some layers cut in half. I love fennel. It smells like licorice. You're not on licorice.
Is asking if you can repeat the step with fennel, please.
Fennel, okay. So fennel head was that with the top. First, I just cut the top, and then I'm going to save this so that we can use it for garnish at the end. I'm going to have that in a cup of water, just so it stay fresh for me. And then fennel, I'm going to cut the core out first, the roots, and then split in half. And after that, I'm just gonna peel out a few layers. And then we're gonna dice each layer. So fennel has a big core root right in the center, or stem. We're just gonna keep cutting the stem off and then peel off a layer, just like that. And again, we don't have to use everything. This can be saved. You can use it for your salad. So nothing has to be wasted. So I'm just cutting it semi-wood julienne first. I'm gonna leave that there. So again, julienne, like little strips. And then up there. And then now I'm going to medium dice it. So about yay big. Put in another bowl. I'm saving these for later. Cutting board should still be nice and clean. Just get a little paper towel. Okay, Angels, everybody up to speed?
Looks like it. We've got thumbs up from Steven. Lexi, how you doing? Alex, we got thumbs up.
Great.
I think we're good.
Mushrooms, small dice. Okay, so now we're going to, okay, so now we're gonna grab you guys have a cast iron of some sort? I'm just gonna do this. You guys have that box of cherry tomatoes that we selected? We're just going to, you don't have to wash these, but these should be good to go. I'm just gonna pick them off the vine. But don't throw the vine. We're gonna leave it in there like that.
If we don't have a cast iron, is there something else that we can use?
Yes, you can use,
Just like a pot?
do you have a safe non-stick pan or actually any saute pan that can be in the oven?
I've never tried to put it in the oven, but we could do that.
Or I can see what pan you have and I'll tell you yay or nay.
Okay, let me see.
If you can click over. Do you have another type of pan?
Is this one not good?
I don't think that's aluminum, so it won't be oven safe. Yeah. Oh, you have a sheet tray of some sort? Like a baking tray?
Oh, like a cookie sheet or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that works. And I'll just do that so that we're all on the same page. So we can line the bottom with a little parchment paper. So for those at home, if you have a cast iron, great. If you don't, we can use a little baking tray. It's not a big deal. It's gonna work regardless. But I'll do this so that we are all on the same page. So I'm gonna save this stem just because if you smell it, it's very citrusy from the vine, from just being tomatoes. I'll leave that in there like that. And then I'm gonna grab another head of garlic, clove on and everything. Same process, I'm gonna smash it. Put that bad boy in there, just like that. I'm gonna sprinkle a very nice generous pinch of kosher salt.
What is the herb with the tomatoes again?
It's the vine of the tomato.
Oh, it's the tomato vine. Okay.
And if you have a few sprig of thyme, we're just going to break it up and kind of sprinkle it on top like that. And we can leave the stems on with the other stems. Okay. Cool. And then now I'm going to grab olive oil, and we're just going to coat the tomatoes, dress that, and this is going to be our sauce, basically, that we're roasting in the oven while we're making the pasta mix. So very generous amounts. Again, 2 cracks of black pepper. I know I did 3. Don't call me out on it. And we're gonna pop this guy in the oven. Is there questions coming in right now, Angel?
No, we're good right now. I just let everyone know if they want to be unmuted to chime me so we can ask you any
Oh,
questions.
got it. Cool. Okay, guys, if we're ready, we're gonna pop this in the oven. Angel, can we get a switch cam? Perfect. So the oven's nice and hot. Throw this guy in there. You know, Asian people have a lot of pots in the oven. I'm one of those. A bunch of cast iron in here. Okay, we're gonna have that bad boy in there. We're gonna set it and forget it. Next, we're gonna go back to our pasta. So if you guys wanna clear out your working space with just the cutting board, so we have working space.
What is the oven temperature again?
375. Actually, I'm gonna have to rinse out quick pot. Okay, is everybody here? We have the bowl in front of us. Let's remove the plastic. And be sure your hand is completely dry. I'm gonna grab the flour. And I'm gonna have that in a small bowl. Flour there. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to just basically coat my hand with flour so that it doesn't stick. And now your dough should be nice and rested. It should be slightly warm, or room temperature, I would say. And we're going to grab that, coat the cutting board just a tad. And then we have our dough in the center. Is everybody on that step? Yes, okay. I'm gonna cut this guy in the middle. Leave that there. Now we're gonna roll this into cylinders. So you see the cutting board picking up the flour, that's good. I'm gonna add a little bit more. Remember guys, just sprinkle very, very little amount. The more you add, the more gummy it's gonna taste. And is everybody here? So then the cylinder should be basically covering the board. And once again, I'm gonna cut that guy in half. I'm gonna leave that on the side. I'm just gonna work this one. And if this open pocket is okay, just my personal preference, that means I didn't add too much flour. So I kind of like that. But we're gonna roll it into a ball anyways, and it's gonna float. So now we're at this step. I'm going to cut little pillows. I just want to make sure everybody's at this step. Are we good to go, Angel?
Can I get a thumbs up if everyone is good for him to keep going? Yep. Looks
Okay, so everybody have a cylinder and a semi-wet in the middle. So now I'm going to cut little pillow, and that's what gnocchi actually translates to, is little pockets of pillows. So just like that. Doesn't have to be perfect, at least not yet. Just going to do that. Okay. Okay, so normally you guys can use it as the shape as is, but we're going to show you guys a fancier way. So if you want to do the fancier step, next we're going to roll these into a little ball. Just like that. And you're not like molding it, you're just literally touching both palms together and gradually rolling it into a little ball. So we're still keeping the integrity of the dough. Okay. Okay, so then it's okay if you guys are not up to speed, but I'm just gonna grab the other piece that I cut, and same thing, I'm just gonna roll it out a little bit and then cut them into pillows and continue this process. I'm gonna check on the tomatoes really quickly. Okay, perfect. Same procedure, cut them into little pillows. And same thing, I'm gonna roll it into a little ball.
Hey chef, how wet should the gnocchis be right now? Like there's still like a little bit of moisture coming off of my.
Wait, I'm having a hard time hearing. Can you say that one more time, please?
How much moisture should be on the gnocchi? So like, just curious. If I'm a little nervous, mine's just too wet.
Okay, if it's too wet, just add a little flour and just work it a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. What should it feel like in my hands as far as like the wetness?
It shouldn't stick at all. You should get it coated by the butter that is in the potato. So it shouldn't stick at all. If it does, then just add a little flour.
Okay. I think I might be okay. Thank you, chef.
Just like that. And then I guess we can save this for later, or yeah, after this video, we can add it to the side. Unless you guys want to do it all, we're more than welcome to. You guys have the time. Not a big deal. You know, I'll do a little more. Okay, does everybody have a pot of boiling water going right now?
No.
Okay, we should set that. We should have it on.
All right.
So
How
I'm just
big
gonna-
does the pot need to be?
And how much water?
This much, just to the top. That's the basic rule of thumb for pasta. I'm gonna fill it up a little more evaporated. When you're cooking pasta, you always want to make sure water is to the top.
I've been boiling water wrong my whole life.
Set that bad boy. And I'm just gonna taste my salt water to make sure it's salty. I'm gonna add a tad more. Again, the rule of thumb is seawater, so it should be fully seasoned, but not too overwhelmingly salty. Okay, I'm gonna wait for everybody to catch up on this situation here. Just gonna have this cruising, and then I'm gonna show you the next step of how to make this look beautiful. You guys let me know when you guys are ready. Just put a thumbs up, and then Bill will tell.
Hey, Chef, your overhead camera cut off.
Oh no, it's no better.
You know what? I'm gonna cut more gnocchi.
Okay, so now it's boiling. I'm just gonna turn this down until it goes to a simmer. So simmer is very small drizzle bubbles. And let me know if everybody is ready for the next task. Nice, everybody's still rolling. Should say. Is everybody there?
Feeling good.
Hey, Joe, can you check in on everyone to see if we're good for the next step?
Yep, I think everyone thumbs up if you're good. Yep, I think we're good to go.
Sweet. Okay, next, we can just grab a plate of any sort, even a platter. Just gonna sprinkle a little flour on top. So not much. Sweet, everybody with that. Okay, then now, if everybody have a fork, and then I'll show you the difference between the stainless steel versus the takeout fork that I have here. But if you guys have a gnocchi paddle, that's even better. If you guys want to impress your date tonight, wink, wink. Everybody show me your fork. Perfect. Okay, so obviously everybody should have a stainless steel fork. We're gonna have it placed down. Right here. That, have it placed down. And then what we're gonna do is just lightly roll it up. And then you should end up with that nice little shape.
Ooh.
How's that on the first try? Is everybody getting that?
Mine's beautiful. Look at this.
It's good. Yeah. Yeah. So great. So now we have one. So I find the takeout fork much easier because it's not slippery for me. If you guys have the takeout one, it's even better. If not, it's not a big deal. Stainless steel will work. Just do the same thing. We're just getting a little beautiful shape. Does anyone have the gnocchi pedal there? I'm just going to show you guys one with the gnocchi pedal. So I usually start it here, and you can see it's a bunch of lines, so it looks better. And I usually apply slight pressure. I roll and mold, and I end up with these little guys. So presentation is better, but do you absolutely need it? Probably not. It's just, your personal preference. Roll a few of those.
If anyone wanted to buy a gnocchi paddle, where would they get one?
Amazon, I think it's $10 to $15. Or your, any Italian market should have. We'll keep a fork. Be consistent today. And you guys will know what I mean when it starts sliding. It gets a little annoying, so that's all. Want to check in the tomatoes really quick? So your tomatoes should be sizzling, but still not fully cooked yet. So that's a good sign. I mean, our timing is perfect. Everybody doing okay?
I'm good.
Perfect. These actually remind me of little milkworm. Is everybody about 60% through? Sweet. Okay, I'm about 90% through. Finish strong, finish strong.
While everyone is finishing, do you want to answer why you decided to become a chef or what inspired you to take this route?
Oh man, okay. So I was in high school. I was, I guess, 17 at that time, 2007. I'm 30 years old. So at that time, I wanted to do the military. That was my thing. But then I told my mom, like, hey, what do you think about me joining the military? And she completely freaked out. She was like, look, you join the military, just don't come home anymore. I was like, what does that mean? Like, you join the military, you're not my son anymore. I'm like, well, okay. I guess I gotta find something to do. And then during that time, I was just like super overweight. I was like 220 pounds, about 5'6" in height, and I just didn't know what I wanted to do. I would lock myself up, like watching Food Network and Top Chef. And yeah, don't ask me why I did that. I have no idea. But anyways, carved my ass off, watching TV, and then I was like, look, if I get through this, this is what I'm gonna do. And somehow I just found myself stumbling into culinary school. I never looked back. That's literally how I got my start. I got into fine dining early, and from there, my perception of food just completely changed. Because I was like, man, you can do so much with food other than just having a burger, you know? So you guys want to see the type of food I do, you guys can visit on my Instagram, Chef Gary Nguyen, and you can see my creation there. So does everybody have a nice plate of potato gnocchis, raw potato gnocchis?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so now we're going to jump back here. Let's get the water, small drizzles. I'm so sorry. Does everybody have a slotted spoon, by the way? So like pasta, maybe one of these guys. If not, even the pasta spoon would work, without the hole in the center, of course. So I'm gonna grab another bowl. I'm gonna drizzle some olive oil in here. Again, if you have ghee, add a little ghee. Because that was on the cart. I like to add a little olive oil just because I like that robust flavor from olive oil. And plus, we're doing Italian food, so it makes sense. But this is the French background in me. Butter on everything. Okay, you guys should get nice little drizzles bubble like that. No more than that. That's like perfect amount. So last shot, let's taste the water once again. If it's nice and sweet, shouldn't be overwhelmingly salty. delicious. And we're going to, oh, that's too much bubbles. I'm going to turn that down. Now we're going to drop them in. Try not to splash them, because it's going to hurt you. Just drop it in one by one. Take different spots so that they don't stick. They shouldn't, but just in case. Or mess around with this induction. Start to control. So don't go all at once. We're just gonna basically enough to cook the bottom, and then we're going to wait. And you can see they're gonna start to float. And the minute they float, which means it's ready, all the flour is cooked off thoroughly, and we can pull them into this bowl that we have. I got our first one coming in. Oops. Where's my nose? Okay, so the minute you see them floating, with your slotted spoon, just add them in the bowl. Then the heat is gonna melt eventually, so don't worry about it if it's like chunky right now. Just add it in there. Add it in there. Taste one. See if it's good. That's really good. How's your potato gnocchi taste? Delicious? Everybody taste your gnocchi. They should be light and airy and not gummy. It shouldn't have a cling when you're biting. If it does, you put a little too much flour, but it's not the end of the world. Okay, so now all the potatoes out. I'm just going to repeat the process until all of my potatoes are cooked. Again, drop them in one by one so that they don't splash. Obviously, when I'm in the restaurant, this is what I literally do. Dump.
After we take the gnocchi out, we put them in the olive oil.
I'm sorry?
After we take the gnocchi out of the water, we put them in the bowl with the olive oil on the gate.
Yes, exactly. Oh, I dropped them in there. And then we're just gonna leave them in here. They're gonna cruise in here.
How long should it take for them to start floating?
Honestly, about 25 to 30 seconds. Basically, once the flour is cooked off, you'll see it floating.
Taking longer than usual? Is there
And
something?
that's fine. That means you have a little more flour, but that's not a big deal. So just be patient. Just wait for it.
Okay.
The water should be simmering, but small drizzles.
What happens if the water is boiling?
Just turn it down. Literally turn it off and just give it a second. Turn it back on to low heat again. Like if you, when you hear the, I'm sorry?
I think maybe some of the confusion might be that, is it not supposed to just float to the top? It just floats a little?
Yeah. Once
Or
it
is it supposed to just?
do you see this here?
Kind of.
You see that?
Yours look like they're floating a lot more than mine. Yeah.
That's it. And then we're gonna pull it, drop it in the bowl. Okay. And remember, your potato gnocchis are very, very delicate while they're sitting in the bowl. So I like to stir the bowl just to give it a little wiggle room. But don't get your spoon and be rough because you will break them. and they're gonna be like couscous. Okay, so that's round 2 for me. I'm gonna go my third round, and that should do it. So now my water is boiling. I'm just gonna turn it down a little bit. So I'm just controlling the process as I go. Can't get rid of this plate now. Okay, so now, I'm so sorry everyone. We're going to remove the tomatoes from the oven. Angel, if I can get a switch camera really quick. So now check your tomatoes. They should be nice and roasted, soft. The skin should be blistered, and it's just sitting in the olive oil. We're gonna leave that cruising on top of the stove top as we continue to do the pasta.
Gnocchi water, we pour it out.
Sorry, one more time.
Are we done with our gnocchi water? Can we pour it out?
Yes, if you're done with all of your potatoes or your pasta.
Yes.
I'm still finishing up here. That's really good. Is everybody tasting the creation so far?
Yeah, it's like eating a salad.
Is it like nice of like umami cheese pillows?
Yeah, I'm loving it.
Okay, perfect. So now we're going to set this guy aside. We're going to use it in just a second. So now can everybody go over to the stove top once again. And we can actually use a stainless steel pot that you have as well. Okay, so now on medium high heat, I'm gonna set that. Let's grab all of our mise en place. Let's grab the onions, garlic. Oh, actually, just the onions and garlic. Now onto your cutting board. Let's cut the sausage. Which sausage did everybody buy? Did you guys buy the raw with the casing or the semi-cut? Can you guys just show the camera so Angel can tell me? You guys bought the raw with casing? That's the raw with casing?
I think so. I mean, yeah, it seems like there's something on it.
Okay, and that's the raw. That's fine. I'll use that one so that everybody will know. So
Okay.
now in your pan that is medium high, we're going to add a little ghee.
Do I take this casing off?
Oh, no. Add a little ghee. And then now I'm just gonna chop up the sausage. Doesn't have to be perfect. You can just rough chop it like little chunks. So to get this perfect dice, we'll usually blanch it, but in this case, we just want to use the raw sausage to flavor the onions and stuff. Perfectly fine like that.
How many sausages should we cut?
I grabbed one, but if you order 2, 3, yeah, the more the merrier.
Cool, cool.
Everybody understood? Oh, did everybody cut their sausage yet?
Cutting right now.
Now I'm just gonna add it into this pan of mine. Just like that. And it will stick a little bit, it's not a big deal. Okay, we're cooking. Yeah, are we on this step?
The onions and garlic are in the are on the stove top.
I'm sorry, say that one more time?
Did you put the onions and garlic on the stove top already?
No, I still have it right here.
Okay.
See it?
Yes.
So right now I only have the sausage in the pot.
Okay.
Then with my wooden spoon, I'm just gonna move it around. Smells great. First, I'm gonna add the garlic, just a pinch, not all of it. I'm like, just a pinch, but I'm adding 2. Just a little olive oil. So we're gonna let the garlic sweat a little bit. This is where it's gonna start to intensify the flavor for us. Your heat might die now, so let's crank it up to high heat, just as a tad. We add a pinch of salt on the garlic itself. Be careful with the sausage because it's seasoned already. So just around the garlic. And now I'm gonna move that around a little bit. And the idea is to slowly caramelize the garlic, but don't burn it. That's a very important step. Be careful not to burn it. So when you move the pan vigorously, you're basically adding in moisture, so it creates the garlic to sweat. When it sits, there's no movement, so it's just gonna burn. We want it to sweat so that we don't get any burnt flavor. Okay.
Was there
now the garlic.
pan before the sausage, Chef?
I'm sorry. Say it one more time.
Was there anything in the pan before the sausage aside from oil?
No, just ghee and the sausage now. So then now we're at this point. Garlic is still raw. The meat is still raw. I'm gonna add in the onions, just like that. Now I'm gonna let that go. So now, once again, a pinch of salt. Onto the onions. So salt helps onions sweat, and that's when you bring out all the natural sugar and what onions has to offer. Now let's continue cooking that down. Your house should smell insane right now. How's everybody doing? Awesome. Okay, we're gonna add the fennel to the pot. And now we're gonna add the mushroom in the pot. Once again, another pinch of salt on top of the fennel and mushroom. So mushroom in general is almost 90% water. So when you add salt, it affects it. So then now you're gonna see natural liquid slowly hitting this pasta sauce. Or your ragu mix, I would say. And as you can see, I season as I go. I don't add it all in one shot. Like I don't go on my vegetables in one shot. This way you give the dish layers of flavors versus just, you know, a flat one-tone dish. And the idea, high heat, when you hear sizzling, you move it slightly. It smells great. Everybody good? We're gonna grab our black peppercorn. 3 cracks. Let that go. All good. Now I'm gonna add in my butter. Maybe about a tablespoon's worth. And this is just gonna help it caramelize a little more and add, you know, that butter flavor. Let that go. It's okay, if everybody's into spice, I love calabrian chili, especially with my Italian dishes. This is all depending on how much spice we eat. I really enjoy this stuff. I'm gonna add about a heaping tablespoon's worth. Maybe a little more.
Spice level 5, what would you say? It's
Say that one again.
on a spice, like on a spice level of 1 to 5 for those that don't really like spice. What would you say?
1 to 5, I would say this is like 2.5. It's not like Thai chili spicy or jalapeno. It's like very, very mild, but fruitiness of chili. It's not the same. And it also add a layer of acidic, so it really helps balance the dish. So you can see the dish is semi-red already. And if you don't have calabrian chili, it's not a big deal. I just honestly like my spice. Okay.
Alex would like to know, what about the tomatoes?
We're about to add that right now. Is everybody on this step? We're gonna add the tomatoes right now. So let's pull our pan. But first, we're gonna remove the stem and the garlic. So let's remove that first. Discard it, okay. And then now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna pour that all in there. Everybody at this step? The sauce, the oil, everything, just add it all in there. All right, good stuff. And I know it might seem like a lot of olive oil, but trust me, when you go to Italian restaurants, everything is brown in olive oil. Okay, we're gonna crush that in there like that. So now you made a beautiful ragu. You made basically fresh tomato sauce. And it should be semi-wet thick, but like slurry consistency like. You guys get that? Now I'm going to add the chicken stock. I'm going to add about a cup's worth. Actually, about 6 ounces, so a cup and a half. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying. So everybody here, we're gonna cook that down. Now this is where we allow all the flavors to just incorporate. So it should be like a stew like now. Get that on high heat, let's simmer it. We're gonna reduce it down a little bit. So in the meantime, we're almost done. In the meantime, as this go, I'm just gonna clean up my kitchen. So you guys should do the same so that you guys can get ready to enjoy the dinner. Don't forget, you guys got meat all over your cutting board, so get rid of that now. Hi, Henry. Okay, great. I'm just gonna add the rest of that garlic. Now I'm just going to fold in a few sprigs of thyme.
Catching up a little bit, you just put in the thyme and the leftover garlic, correct?
I just put in the thyme, that's about it, and the leftover garlic, yes. And then I'm just continue reducing it. It's still getting nice and thick.
It wants to know if you can make the potato pillows and freeze for another meal later, or is that not advised?
You can actually. You want to do that before cooking it. So during the raw process, you want to leave it on a sheet tray and then pop that in the freezer. After it's frozen, put it in Ziploc. And then do the same method, simmer in water, drop the pasta, the frozen pasta in there. Once it floats, it's good to go. So once again, if you want to freeze your pasta, your leftover pasta, before the cooking stage, you lay that out on a sheet tray, put it in the freezer, and then cook it again. Can everybody taste their sauce right now, just to check on the seasoning? Nice. Mine is nice and spicy. It's nice and seasoned, but don't add any salt yet because we're still reducing it. So the salt content is gonna get higher. So just let it go. We're still cruising.
I can't really tell from your video. Is yours like still really watery?
Mine is still really watery. I think I add too much chicken stock, but it's fine. It's just adding more flavor.
Okay.
But mine is still very watery.
Will we like remove some of the extra liquid, or that's just fine?
Let's just cook it down. We're just gonna intensify the flavor, so it's all gonna be great. And then in the meantime, we can just kick a few things of parsley.
Same question applies. Do they have to pre-rinse or rinse it ahead of time?
The parsley?
Yes.
Yes. After the market, we should definitely pre-rinse it. I already did, and I have it in a thing of water. That's how I store my parsley at home.
Is that the best way to store remaining parsley as well? Would you put it in the refrigerator and in a cup of water?
Oh, I don't leave it in the refrigerator. I just leave it out at room temperature. Just just because it's almost like being grown outdoor. Because herbs are not meant to be below 41 degrees. It's too cold for it. So this way it keeps the freshness a bit longer than if it were to be refrigerated. Okay, we're almost there. Keep reducing. Taste your sauce in between. So last but not least, we're going to pick some fresh basil. Okay. How's everybody's pasta sauce? Is it almost thick? Oh man, it's so good.
Smells amazing.
It smells amazing, right?
Amazing.
Super done with the cutting board. Okay, so we're almost there. I think we're about 70% there.
Good.
Alex is asking that his sauce does not have that much liquid. Should he add more chicken broth?
Oh, how far? Can you show me? Can you show me on camera so I can see how far? Can I see your sauce, Alex? That's good. Pull it off and then literally add a tablespoon of chicken stock, and that's it. Go back to Alex again, please. Just so I can see. Sorry, Alex. Just want to make sure your sauce is. Sorry, Angel. Can you switch over to Alex camera again? Okay. Is the heat off, Alex? Perfect. Okay. Now let's for you, we're just gonna add in another tablespoon of butter and heat up. Yes.
Yeah,
tablespoon
I
of butter.
already put the butter here, but like more butter?
How much did you add?
Like 2 tablespoons.
Yeah, we add one more.
Let's get some more.
Can never have enough butter. Okay, is everybody having this nice slurry consistency? Like a ragu consistency?
Yeah.
Can I switch over to Steven camera, please? Angel? Okay, we still have some time with that one. Sorry, Steven, can you just move it with a wooden spoon so I can just check your consistency?
Yes.
Is it still watery?
Yeah, I also put the 6 or the cup and a half.
Okay. Sorry. Just crank the heat. Is it heat up all the way?
No, let me put it on higher.
Okay, you have time. You have time, no worries. Okay, so then for me, it's starting to stick, so which means it's getting thicker. So just with the wooden spoon, constantly stir it a little bit. But this is actually perfect consistency. I'm just gonna turn it off. I'm just gonna let everybody catch up, and then I'll move on to the next step. However, now I'm gonna grab a plate because I'm getting ready for dinner. If you guys want to do that. I got grabbing 2 plates, dinner for 2. And now I'm gonna let everybody catch up. Just please thumbs up or say something and we will jump on to the next step. Still gonna reduce this a little bit more. It shouldn't be like bolognese consistency, but more like a ragu consistency, nice and saucy. Because then once I add the pasta, it's gonna thicken it up just a tad, and then I'm gonna grate some cheese in here. So you don't want it like water, but you don't want it super thick.
And what about the basil and parsley?
We're gonna fold it in at the very end so that it doesn't brown. And then let's grab our cheese and our cheese grater ready, so that once this is done, we're ready to eat. I hope everyone's hungry. Sorry, Joe, can you switch over to top down? Okay. Like that. Not too thick, not too thin.
The smells have brought my roommate out. He's now very intrigued.
It's a good sign.
My sauce is thickened up.
Your sauce is getting ready?
It's thickened up.
Can I see it really quick?
Yeah.
Sorry, Angel, switching up perfect.
No worries. So it's still a little watery, but
Still a little watery. Is the heat still up?
heat is all the way up.
Okay, perfect. We're almost there.
Yeah. Probably like 5 more minutes.
Almost there. How's everybody else doing? Are we good? Lizzie, how you doing? Can I see your creation, please?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, nice. It's not.
Is it really dark? Hold on. Give it light.
Is it ready?
It's still a little. This is hard to show you.
Okay.
See this.
Okay, that's fine. Is it like my consistency? That's good.
See that?
Yeah, that's good. You can add that on the heat. You can add that on the heat now and let it come to a boil once again. And then I'm going to show you how to finish the dish now. So then everyone, we should end up at this process in the next minute or two. This is like a super, sorry, top down, Angel. We should end up with like, to the point where you can see all the garnishes or all the vegetables. And it's slightly thickened from all the delicious butter. so I'm gonna go ahead and finish this now. Once they get up to a boil again, which is this second. Okay, so now I'm gonna turn off the heat. Is everybody at a simmer, just like this? If everyone's at a simmer, just like this, we're going to turn off the heat now. So now it's off. I'm gonna grab my gnocchi here. Well, I'm moving. And I'm gonna just dump it in. It's okay, you're behind. I will catch you up, I promise. So again, the same motion, we're gonna fold it in. We don't wanna break up the pasta. It's still very delicate. Perfect. Now I'm going to grab this guy, the basil and parsley, add it on top. So remember the heat is currently off. And then carefully fold. See how I did that? I take it from one end, fold, fold. Okay, now I'm gonna start plating. So I'll transfer everyone. Here.
Huh?
Sorry, guys. Okay, good.
Can you tell me if my sauce is ready for yet?
Yeah, I see your sauce again. Yeah, your sauce is good.
All right, cool. And then heat off.
Heat off, then add the pasta. Everybody have this so far? Sauce, the pasta, and herbs. We're actually get a regular spoon now. I'm gonna stop with the wooden spoon. Let's switch over with a bigger stainless steel spoon. Pushing that back over in the center. Let's see. Delicious. Everybody good? Perfect. Steven, how you doing?
I'm amazing. I'm so psyched right now. Let me show you.
Good job, Alex. Okay, now we're gonna grab our cheese.
What's up, dude? This smell brought me into the kitchen. I'm very curious.
Yeah, we have
We're gonna grab our cheese. Perfect. And I'm gonna just make it rain once more time. Don't be shy.
Don't be shy, Steve.
All right, we're going for it. We're going for it. Hold on, I got it.
We're going for it. Okay, and then I'm gonna top it off with that fennel that I reserved earlier. You guys remember that?
It's clean. I just took it out of the oven. I just took it out.
Just to give it a nice little look, and then it's gonna add like a slight licorice flavor to the dish. Careful not to grab the super thick one because it tastes very woody. So just like that nice thin hair. And you guys should end up with something like that.
Beautiful.
So honestly, for myself and my wife, we're probably gonna add more pressed red chilies. I get it, we're crazy. And I think you guys have Molten salt from the Instacart or the list. I like to add fleur de sel just because I like the texture more than molded salt. I'm just gonna adjust a tad just for texture because it's already fully seasoned and there's enough umami from the Parmesan. And literally, guys, that's it. How do you guys feeling?
I'm feeling good, chef.
I'm just trying it. It's so good.
Going hungry, chef.
Nice. It looks really good. Nice. Good job.
Thank you so much.
Is this everybody first time making fresh pasta?
First time.
First time
Nice.
cooking ever.
No way.
I like to
No.
make
Wait,
my own lasagna.
So how did I do? How did I do in terms of walking you through the process? Was it like straightforward? Was I too fast?
It was a little speedy, but it was good.
Okay.
I wanted like a pre-start. So like set your oven to 475, get your water boiling. Because I had to rush to get those things done, and perhaps you got little slower, right, Steve? And but other than that, it worked. I didn't have to mash my own potatoes while you guys are like working with flakes.
I know. I was like, how do I cut
I
down?
went to the supermarket and I'm like, wait a minute, there's no mention of potatoes.
That's good though. That's
I'm
good.
half Italian, so gnocchi was like, we
Okay,
do
there
this.
you go. So you know exactly what's in it. This is not your traditional, but I think this is like good enough.
This is LA gnocchi.
Yeah, there you go. Well, everybody, thank you so much for spending the evening with me. If you would like to have me in your comfort of your home, simply visit serve.co, fill out the request form, and ask for Chef Gary, or just simply reach out to me or my email chefgary@gmail.com. And at the moment, we're only covering LA, but if you're somewhere out there in the world, just let us know, shoot us an email, and we'll try best to serve you. I really appreciate everybody for your time. Please enjoy this dinner, as I will as well.
Thank you, chef.
Thanks, chef.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bon appetit.
Bye, guys.
Hawke Media.
Bye, Steven. Bye, Kaden.